Hello everyone, welcome back to the What is God Network, where we're wigging out on the things of God. This is another status report for Operation Divine Origin. There are a number of different things I'd like to talk about. First off, we have done some figuring, and estimates are by the time of the next full moon, you should begin to see, at least in the southern hemisphere, you should begin to see reddish tint developing high in the atmosphere, and it may, if not this first moon, we still haven't gotten it down to the day, but the week of the next full moon is when it should start. We should, if our figures are right, we should start seeing reddish haze, more like a blood kind of reddish haze developing in the high atmosphere, which is, I've been analyzing all the chemical makeup of the different stuff that's going on, and it's just really this thing about the core exit, the chemicals that they're dumping. When you look at all what it's made of, it becomes apparent that what they're doing really is it is made from the waste products. It's made from byproducts of the petroleum process, of turning oil into gasoline. You know how they get Vaseline. They make lots of things out of petroleum products, but this Cortex is made out of the waste, the stuff they couldn't make useful products out of. So really they're using this oil spill, as they're calling it, and I hesitate to call it an oil spill because that is not what is going on, but they're using it as an opportunity to dump their waste. You see, that's what's going on with dumping all this core exit. They're dumping their waste. They've been dumping their waste into the Gulf for years and years and years. And no one really knows how much toxic, dangerous chemicals are down at the bottom of the Gulf. But I know that the corridor, I used to live down there by Lake Pontchartrain, and where the Mississippi River dumps into the Gulf, and that's Toxic Alley. There's over 61 different chemical companies through that corridor, they routinely dump highly toxic chemicals into the Mississippi River, and it flows eventually into the Gulf. And they've been doing that, I don't know, like I said, for maybe 50 years, not just BP. But this stuff, it's so deep, it goes so far that I'm going to blow your minds completely beyond repair if I tell you everything that's going on. But just think of this, right? It is not an oil spill, and I mean that technically. There is oil coming up, but it is not an oil spill. It's more, you could accurately call it a volcano. I would call it a volcano, but even that is really not a real clear description of what it is. And there's a reason why they're calling it an oil spill, because by talking about the oil, then nobody is really noticing the main problem. The main situation is not oil. The main thing going on is methane hydrates. That's the main thing. More methane, 3,000 to 5,000 times more methane is spewing into the Gulf than oil. Now, like I said, I've been looking at all the chemical stuff, and I've got horrible news. Not only is it going to turn the sky a high in the atmosphere, because that's one of the things that this core exit is doing. It's at a molecular level, it's changing the hydrates. The molecules, the methane molecules, are fusing with hydrogen molecules, and they're being carried up higher into the atmosphere than would normally be carried up into the atmosphere. But the net effect of what's going to happen is, if it rains, you're not only going to get toxic, poisonous rain, but you have the real potential that the rain itself could catch fire as it falls and moves through the air, through the oxygen of the air, and it could literally catch fire as it falls. Not only that, if it falls in the form of hail, it could increase in density as it falls. In other words, the hail balls. I'm running out of time. And my video camera, I'm still not able to upload videos, but I figure this is important that I get this uploaded. But the hail balls or the hail stones as they fall, they could actually increase in size as they fall. And so we could literally see hailstones of over 100 pounds. As they fall, they will increase in size and ignite. So you're going to see, if it rains and it turns to hail, you could literally see 100-pound burning hailstones fall from the sky. But the point is, the thing that's going to really set you off and blow your mind is that this was on purpose. This was a chemical attack. They knew exactly what they were doing. They drilled into a core deposit of methane hydrate, which is really a frozen glacier of methane. They knew it was down there, and they drilled into it on purpose because they knew that releasing that methane into the atmosphere, you see, and that's what's causing the oil to erupt as well, because the chemical reactions that are taking place as the methane melts, you know, is bringing up the oil with it. So you could call it a mud volcano. Yes, it is a mud volcano, but it's more gas than anything else. It's a gas oil eruption, and they did it on purpose. You see, they're trying to kill the earth. They're trying to kill the earth, and this methane, this hydrate deposit is unique. It's chemically, it's unique, and by adding that core exit to the mix in the water, it's increasing the reaction of the methane glacier melting. The glacier is melting faster and faster and faster, and so the projections that the entire Atlantic Ocean, the little slideshow you've been seeing where it talks about 130 days out, and it shows you a picture of the movement of the oil into the Atlantic Ocean up the Gulf Stream. Well, that's grossly overestimated, and it's not taking into account a number of different things, but the pressure began at something around 70,000 pounds per square inch, and now it's up to over 2.4 million pounds per square inch. So there is no way they're going to stop it. That's why they've said now that they're not going to be able to do anything more for it until Christmas. But the problem is the people who punched the hole into the methane glacier, they did it on purpose because it's a chemical attack on the earth. They're trying to kill the earth, and if that glacier melts, it will be the death of the earth, not just the ocean. But in 6 months, if our estimates are right, the entire Atlantic Ocean will be dead in 6 months. Nothing that breathes air through gills will be able to survive because all the oxygen will be depleted from the reaction that's occurring for the methane molecules bonding with the hydrogen. So there's a lot of stuff, but the next full moon, we should be able to get some visible confirmation of some of this stuff if what we think is happening is really happening. And if it was a chemical attack, you know, they purposely put that hole in there to kill the earth, not to kill us, you know, but that's going to be the result, because there are going to be places where 100-pound hailstones are going to fall, and they're going to ignite as they fall. They'll ignite, and as they burn, they will gain mass, and so that by the time they hit the earth, they could be in excess of 100 pounds.